of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I did say it was going to start at 3:55, but it's 4 o'clock. We're here. I'm back. I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and I just wanted to say hello to everybody before I bring on my guests and, well, co-host here, Toddy. So today we're remembering Corey Micciolo. You guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Get a membership if you can. I'm going to gift some memberships today. All right. So, you guys, today we're talking about a year later, Corey Micciolo, remembering him, and Rebecca Micciolo and Toddy One. We're going to do the letter to the monster, Christopher Gregor. All right, guys, everybody come on in, show your love, and let's get these ladies on here. Let me add you both, and let's do it this way. Let's see how this goes. All right, you guys, I'm just trying to figure out the way it looks best on my screen with three of us, and I think that's going to be the best way. All right, everybody, how you doing today, Toddy, Rebecca?
Good. How you doing, Jay? I have a little bit of a cough, so I might stop my mic when I have a coughing fit. Just
no problem. No problem. Good to see you, my friend. Rebecca,
Thank
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Another day, you know. So, yeah, today we're talking about remembering Corey Micciolo, your grandson. And I guess I want to start off with, did you guys do something special? I kind of saw some things on the page.
We kept it kind of low key this year. It was just us. We, went to the cemetery and, that was pretty much it. Previously we would do a big event or something, but we just kind of scaled it down a little bit. And it was nice. Well, I guess as nice as it can be.
Right. Right. And I saw some things on the Justice for Corey page. Was it just like immediate family getting together, or?
Yeah, it was just us. We didn't have anybody. I mean, other people went to visit Corey up at the cemetery and drop off things, but we didn't go as a group like we usually do. It was just us on our own. So
okay. Well, how's Brianna doing?
Good.
She's doing good.
Yeah. I don't think it gets easier, but you just learn to keep moving forward,
Right. Somebody asked that earlier. They said, how does a family heal from that? And I said, I don't know that they do, but I think by moving forward, trying to change laws and doing what you can here, like what you're doing, is the only thing you can do, right?
Right. Yeah. You don't heal. And there's that word forgiveness is not in my vocabulary. I get more pissed off with each day. That's just me, but.
Yeah. I mean, no one knows how it's going to be until you're there, and nobody wants to be there.
Right.
I think especially because they have the memories. I mean, not that I'm speaking for the family, but looking in and just seeing it for what it is. I mean, it makes it even more difficult because, I mean, they saw the signs and like right in front of their eyes. I mean, with all of the fighting and all of the please help us and the 100 complaints and like
Right.
all of that. And then right in front of their eyes, it's just like, how could this happen? Like, how do you, there's so much to get past to go forward, I would assume. It's not like it was, and this isn't okay either, but it's not like it was a random person that picked Corey up and did away with him. This
Right.
was something that you saw in front of your eyes all the time and just kept trying to make the situation right, and in hopes I always hear, and what goes through my mind is, we thought that finally somebody would hear us. We thought that finally this was, and then to end up where you're at and all of that. I mean, there's so much that you'd have to
Right.
be able to get past. I don't know that a lifetime is that. I think that, like Jay said, yeah, you just got to find a way now to live
Right.
as
Yeah.
best you can, right?
That's it. It didn't
And
have
help.
to happen. It happened
Oh,
because nobody wanted to do their job. Too much paperwork, or whatever. Nobody wanted to do their job. I still go back to when, for instance, when we were doing the drop offs at the police station, the visitation drop offs. There was one particular evening where Chris picked Corey up from me and I was going home, and he started to tailgate me and try to hit the back of my car and blow the horn. And, you know, I called the police. He was chasing me going about 85, 90 miles an hour in a 25. I called the police department, but of course they never found him, after I
right.
reviewed, I saw what road we were on. And I always said that if one cop, I know they couldn't really get in the middle of the whole custody, whatever thing. But if one cop would have said to him, hey, you can't do this shit to these people, knock it off.
Right.
He might have said, oh shit, they see what I'm doing. I'm not going to get away with this. Maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking if somebody would have just said, dude, you can't do this. You can't keep doing
Right.
it. But nobody said it. Nobody ever said it. It's like,
And now we know. I mean, we know with his dad and the family, the small town and the influence. We now, looking back, we see not only that, but then the system, right? DCP&P or CPS. I mean, that's happening multiple times a day. I covered a case yesterday, Mia Campos, and they told the dad, hey, if you stay involved in her life and you do all the appointments and everything, and the girl was underage, he got her pregnant, he took her out to go get snacks and he strangled her to death. He even went out with the family to go look for her body, and he's the one that did it. So many, so close, so many fathers that don't want to be. So we want that lesson too. If somebody, and that was not your fault. That was a one mess up on the paperwork. Trying to be honest, right?
right.
Brianna
Exactly.
filled out that paperwork, and now to anybody else that does that, I would say to them, don't put the name if you don't want any
Unknown, just
involvement.
unknown.
Yeah,
Exactly. Unknown. If there's some, yeah.
I
Yeah.
all we can do is help and teach people now, right? I mean, you guys are trying to help change the laws, and you want to do things to help future people, but we can't go backwards,
You know what's
obviously.
really sad in saying that, and I know that it's so obvious. So here's somebody who's trying to get some help because they're told that, you know what, we could do that. And so they're honest. And in order for them to get help and get safety, they would have to say that Brianna was promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? Like, her reputation has to take a hit. So that the unknown, father unknown. What does that say about the mother? Seriously,
Right.
it's not. Yeah, I guess I would. Let's change. Not that, not that we have the power, but as a society, as people together, we might can change it. Because wouldn't you rather change that than start ruining people's reputations? Like, change Change
I
the
mean, I
laws.
would.
And-
I would. I just try to give pieces of information from
absolutely, and I
cases.
agree for right
Yeah.
now. Absolutely,
Yeah,
so.
for right now, I say unknown. Put your head up high and keep
Right.
going. Just like the dad of the baby dad of Mia Campos, they should have just let him go on his way. They didn't know any better, and look at what happened. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we can only teach people what we can.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
no,
Rebecca.
absolutely. But the
Yeah, obviously, the
justice
long
for
go.
Corey definitely I mean, I don't know what the vision is, but that's got to be somewhere. I mean, not maybe for justice for Corey, but just for kids in general. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there has to be and or for mothers, you know, not so much.
I want to show this.
So the money goes for the kid. You know, the money is supposed to go for the child and help the child. So, you know, just if people did what was right, we wouldn't even be having these conversations, and you and I wouldn't be having a channel, huh, Jay?
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's every how many of these cases happen a day? And we're talking about Corey, obviously. I just wanted to show this to remember Corey. I'm very proud for you guys of this group with 20,000 people. I mean, you can get a petition going just on this page alone and have 20,000 people that will back you. I think that's that's a huge statement about Corey and the loss that you had, because I mean, even the Madeline Soto case that is, international now, doesn't even have 20,000 people in their private group. So I do say to you, on the upside, you have a big backing,
Right.
Well, I think a lot more people could relate to a divorced or a breakup situation and a jealous spouse that doesn't want to see the other person succeed, and the way to hurt them, of course, their Achilles heel is the children. That is a lot more common than I guess what's going on with Maddie Soto. Like, that is just so, you know what I'm saying?
I get it, but like,
yeah, two
when
children
I have
gone. Two children gone. Corey's rights weren't protected, not because of parents here, not
Right.
because of one parent and grandparents, but because his laws weren't his protection. It didn't seem to matter to the system. The other one, I'm not sure that they knew about it, didn't know about it, but
right.
that's equally as fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
It is absolutely. I mean,
needs to
one
be
case,
some sort of, I don't know, like,
I
we
mean,
have
it's a
to-
system failure. Agreed.
and it's a sad world, like Froggy 1369 said. Like, and now
Yeah.
I think, not trying to get political, and I'm not, but it's
Go
like,
get whatever you want. Yeah.
but what about the fact that there are people that now in certain states have to bring children into the world that are unwanted? It's part of the same system here. Like,
right. We were talking about that too.
people should be
Absolutely.
able to say it shouldn't be a form of birth control. Abortion should not be a form of birth control. And Rebecca, I'm not trying to take away from Corey here. I think every child, and these rights are children's rights. They're children's rights when a child isn't welcomed in the world by the parents. That's a child's right. Like, why are you doing that? Why? The same way when you're reaching out and saying, my child's getting abused by his dad, like, do something. And these children, their rights aren't there. They're just not there, because look at what's happening. They're like, it's very
look at the
aggravating.
page. Look at the Corey page. We don't just have Corey. This is about helping all children so that this can be, everybody knows about it. Look at this lady on Corey's page. Mom who drowned her daughter, not guilty by reason of insanity. I mean, that's
kids,
why.
Not just one. She drowned two, and then had
See?
the mindset to dress them and lay them in the front yard, and then call and say, I did something bad or whatever. No shit, bitch. And you know what? We should drown her and lay her out in the front yard. I'm about tired of these people doing this to these kids. And the same judge that ruled on Chris's case ruled on this woman's case. And
God.
I can't say that I agree with them. I don't agree with his sentencing. I think we should get rid of these people that are taking our kids out. They should be taken out the same way. And I'll stand by that. I really think that's how it should go. And I think we'd have a lot less child abuse if they knew that they were going to get taken out the same way. Maybe they'd think twice before they put their hands on a kid again.
I
agree. I think kids don't have enough rights. It's the parents they're giving the rights to, and it's very loose in the protection that they're giving to the children. And so, I mean, that again, that's why Court Justice for Corey, you guys should go over to Facebook if you're on there, join the Justice for Corey page. It's private, so they got to accept you, which keeps a good group in there, and there's discussions. I mean, we can start something where we make change, have signatures. Can I read this from April 3rd? I wanted to talk about 1 year remembering Corey. So do you mind if I read your post from there?
No, go right ahead.
Okay. All right. I just want to start off, let everyone know why we're here. We're here for Corey, but we're here for all children, because one child, if you keep on multiplying that, it's going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm reading Rebecca's post on April 3rd. It says, I just need to vent. I've called the hospital where Corey was seen the night before his death, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, Barnegat Police Department, to ask them how we make changes in how welfare checks and decisions regarding evident abuse cases are handled to prevent further abuse. Death. Guess what? Nobody wants to talk. Nobody calls back. Nobody listens. This is why I choose Can You Hear Me Now as the title of my book. Corey always said nobody listens. They don't hear me, and he was right. He's gone, and they still don't listen. How many more children have to die before someone listens? I'm so disgusted by the family courts, DCP&P, law enforcement, and hospitals, all which are mandated reporters of abuse. What can we do to be heard? All right. Thank you for letting me read that. I mean,
I just want to, after I went on that rant, I guess it was probably the next day, someone from Barnegat Police did call me back. I don't want to put his name out there.
No problem.
But he pretty much agreed with me that there could be some changes that may have prevented this. He didn't deny that there could be some changes that may help the next person. I had a good conversation with him, and although he didn't really, I said, how can I help you make these changes? What do we need to do? How can we work together? And he wasn't certain.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, that's where it gets tough. I'm going to pull this down so I can see you guys. That's better. That's where it gets tough, is people want to make change, and then when it comes to it, it's a hard stop because they don't want to go against their boss or the whatever. They don't want their faces to be out there, which isn't going to help if you're hiding. So, yeah, I just wanted to remember Corey, and I mean, that can be, that's a big platform. It can help make changes, get ideas, suggestions, sign petitions. So that's what I wanted to make the audience aware of. And yeah, you got the floor, Rebecca, whatever you want to say, or Toddy.
Just like I said, we want to get these laws passed, but you don't know where to go, who can do it. And you're running around in every direction. You're getting promises from your governor's office, and then you don't hear back from them. You just don't know. You don't know how to get it done. And it's frustrating because you make these calls, you write these letters, but it doesn't seem to be to the right person, but nobody can send you in the right direction. And in the meantime, there's more Corys, it keeps happening, and we can't have that. Like, we're either going to, start taking justice into our own hands. Because I can tell you this, not that I ever anticipate it happening to my family again.
Right.
But if I ever had to go through a situation again, we wouldn't be here talking about the guy who got sentenced to 25 years. We'd be talking about how I killed him. I'm not kidding you. And I'll be in jail, and I'd be okay with that, because it's not happening to me again. I can tell you that. I've learned, and I have no faith in the justice system. And I know a lot of people, I've praised the Ocean County prosecutors office. I do think they did a wonderful job handling Corey's case, but I still don't
Right.
feel like it was justice to me. That was my grandson, and he's
Right.
dead. And Chris Gregor is still alive. He still gets to feed his fat face. He still gets to laugh, watch a movie, listen to music. Corey doesn't get to do any of that. So justice for me would be watching that bastard drop dead and struggle to breathe and take his last breath by himself. That would be justice for me.
I agree.
That's my opinion. I'm just a bitter grandmother, and I'm going to stay this way. It's
Right.
not going to change for me. I don't ever anticipate it changing unless someone can send me a video showing me that bastard got his ass kicked and dropped dead on the floor by himself, screaming for his mother. Then I might feel good about myself. I might get a little spring in my step. I don't know, but that would be the
Right.
only thing. I need proof that he's being tortured.
It's definitely going to drive your passion to not only help other people, but help your situation, writing the book. I mean, anything that's going to come out of it that's positive, and that's all you can do. You can use that, bitter and angry to create things like you are right now. So
yeah, it's just I don't anticipate my bitterness ever fading. It's because Corey's never coming back. So then how's it ever going to go away? Time does not heal all wounds, which I know people say that all the time. I don't believe that to be true. I mean, we're 4 years out and I'm still just as angry, sad, bitter as day one. It hasn't gotten easier. You just learn to live with it, I guess, if that's.
I think that if and I could be wrong, but I think that if justice for Corey were to become a law and it were to help other people, you would find that his legacy, and the fact that his name will go on might be something that could maybe take some of the sharp edges off.
I mean, that would make me feel good knowing
that something good came of it in spite of what happened, but through his name and therefore his legacy. And that's what I think justice for Corey is striving for, is making a difference in Corey's name for other children so that they can be heard. Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are hoping for. But it's just, things we think about, oh, we want to do this. And it sounds so easy, but there's always obstacles, it just doesn't happen as quickly or as easy as you think. It's just difficult to get things done.
So I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but instead of like taking on the whole system, maybe start with the schools or something, at least where children could feel safe to go and talk about what's going on in these mandated reporters must. I mean, even if it's one school at a time, and because that's all you can do as a small group. And then hopefully, I don't know. I mean, I don't have the answers. I'm just offering suggestions.
No, there's a Justice for Corey member. She's been from day one, and we talk daily, probably 2 or 3 times a day. And, she said, what if even just in the school districts, they had a box in each classroom where a kid could slip a note instead of coming out and saying something to the teacher, just put a little note in there, like I'm scared or I need help, or,
that's a great idea.
Like that. I mean, but then I'm like, oh, I'm sure somebody will say we're violating somebody by doing that, or.
Yeah, but you don't know. I mean, you don't know. You could reach out to a school, ask them. Ask them, just see what they say. Maybe they'll have a different idea. Maybe something will come from it. But if you're afraid to say something, nothing will get done.
Right. So, and in Corey's case, he was afraid to tell because when he did tell and they contacted Chris and went there and questioned Corey in front of Chris, he got his ass beat as soon as they left. And he knew that. So he stopped talking, and that's when Corey gave up. He realized, wow, like every time I say something,
it's going to get back to the person,
it's not, nobody's listening. And, I think for a lot of kids, I would assume they're afraid to say something for the same reason, and they shouldn't have to
That's
fear that.
exactly why. But if there's more open communication where adults are actually communicating with each other rather than just like, oh, they told me something and he's going to go home and get whooped and nobody's going to do anything about it. We got to start somewhere. I mean, I think that's a good idea with the schools, maybe. I know you don't have any kids right now going into school, so it's hard to like know how to
I'd go to the
navigate that.
school that he went to. Just I would see what maybe they could. I would start with that school and just
Yeah. You know,
try to.
also, when I spoke to the Barnegat police officer last week, I said to him, he said to me, "Tell me how you think we failed when we went out on that welfare check." I said, "Well, first of all, your officer questioned Corey in the same room with his dad. Your
They
second
shouldn't do that.
officer, the second officer talked about how he used to see Chris and Corey at the football field. And so they were a good father son, there was a good father son relationship. Well, how did he determine that? By seeing them on the football field? Did he not know like that means nothing? And I said, I feel like, first of all, your first officer should have taken Corey in one room. The second officer could have spoken with Chris. Corey might have said something to you, not being in the same room where Chris can hear him. And I said, I think that, your officer on the witness stand noted several bruises on Corey. He noted where they were on his body. And I mean, he did the right thing. He reported it like he's supposed to DCP&P, but that's where we need to have a change. If an officer goes on a welfare check and he's at the house of the suspected abuser and the child is in that person's care for, the next couple of days, I don't think calling DCP&P is enough for them to say we'll be out in 24 to 48 hours. I think if an officer of the law is telling you, I see bruises on this kid, I think they should be dispatched out there within the hour. DCP&P should come within the hour. The cops should stay with the kid until they get there and then let them do their thing. That's what I think needs to change. That didn't happen because on that date when they went out there, if something like that would have happened, Corey would still be here.
Is that even in their protocol though? Is that like completely far from what they do? I mean, I'm wondering.
They do what I said they did. They make the appropriate recommendation, which they did call and put the referral into DCP&P, and that's where their duty stops. They're done after that, and they go on and do whatever else they do on patrol. And I mean, listen, that's their protocol. So the officer did what he was supposed to do. But that's where I'm saying, like, law enforcement, DCP&P, everybody has to work together. Like, everybody has to be on the same page, and I think we need to change how we do things. Like the hospital, for instance, where Bree was at the night before, their child abuse expert was gone for the day.
Right.
What do you mean he's gone for the day? Child abuse happens
24/7.
Not just Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. What do you mean he's gone? That's like telling somebody who needs a bypass surgery at 2 a.m. Well, our surgeon's gone for the day, pal. Hope you make it till morning. You can't do that. That's ridiculous. That needs to change. I'm finding out that there's only one child abuse expert. And I thought they were employed by the hospital. I found out they're employed by DCP&P. And they cover a large area, not just one specific area. So there's one expert that has to spread themselves. You can't do that. That's not okay. Each hospital has an expert 24/7.
What's interesting too? Not necessarily interesting, but here's the thing. I mean, there might be little changes you can make from the hospital, from the school, but in a hospital, when you go to, let's say, a doctor's appointment with your husband, your wife, or whatever, they always pull you aside and make sure that there's no abuse in the house, there are no guns, why don't they just do that with children? I don't understand.
They did. Let me tell you something. I dislocated my hip when I was 7 years old, and I was a tomboy from out the womb. So, and fearless. So by the time I dislocated my hip, I had split my chin open a few times. I had, fallen. And so I remember, and my parents later told me, and this is back in 69, right? 1969.
Yeah, that's a long
And
time.
yeah,
The
and they
dinosaurs.
said they got I remember before they put me to sleep to reset my hip and put me in that cast, they asked me what happened. They came in and asked me what happened because I remember kind of being afraid because, like I was 6 years old. There's cops there. My parents weren't there. They weren't in the room. And they asked me what happened. And I told them, I was playing football with my brother. And, and I made a point of saying I got the touchdown. But he wouldn't get off me. Like after he tackled me in the end zone, he wouldn't get off me. So I pulled myself from under him and I did that to myself. You know what I'm saying? I pulled my own hip out of the socket. But I told them what happened. And apparently, my parents told them the exact same story in a totally different room. And so they were convinced. And then I even remember them saying, well, how'd you get that? Because I had, a scar. And I told them. And, and apparently they asked my parents about that too. And so all the stories matched up with the fact that, hey, listen, I was a tomboy and I was fearless. You know what I'm saying? But had they have done that, like, why did they do it in 1969 and they're not doing it today?
That's what I was about to say. It just doesn't. It's just one extra step that it could easily be implemented. I'm trying to think of immediate solutions.
The night before, Corey did reveal. He revealed to his pediatrician who sent him to the hospital, and then he revealed at the hospital. And DCP&P was in, communication with the pediatrician and the hospital doctor. They all knew that Corey said his dad was doing this. And they also all knew that Corey was due to go back home to his father, the abuser.
Right.
Why did you let this happen?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
He told and he still got nowhere,
Yeah.
It still didn't help. And that's got to change. I mean, I said, even if they take a kid from both parents until they do a full investigation, I would have rather had Corey go through the god awful drama of being in a foster home for a week or two until they figured it out.
Sorted it out. Right. Exactly.
Now, have I asked you yet? I think I have, but I don't recall what is behind Corey's law. So I and it's something we should think about if we want to make any progress on it. Just, having a target. So do you have anything, like, for instance,
we wrote something up. The biggest thing would be hospitals having someone on 24/7 on call, an expert.
Okay.
We can't have this shit that it's a holiday weekend or
Right.
5. That doesn't work. So that's one of the biggest things. There needs to be a child abuse expert staffed in every hospital. I don't want to hear about the budget and the cost. I don't care.
Right. But I mean, that's a big thing, and that's a good focus because, like, another one of the cases I'm following, I mean, it's just pregnant women are getting strangled, right, and they're specifically changing the law for anybody that takes a pregnant woman's life. It's automatically, let's say, the death penalty or something like that. So just that one thing that Corey's law can do, so that we can focus on each part of it. I mean, I think that's great. And if they don't have an expert, they should have somebody that's at least qualified. Let's say that should never have gotten to, oh, there's no one here until next week. They should have somebody.
It was the next day, but still, the next day was too late for Corey, and we can't do that. There has to be somebody on call.
There should absolutely be someone. And if they're not an expert, it should be you don't have to have an expert, but somebody that's qualified. I'm qualified enough to go in there and say, hey, and ask the questions, look at the thing. You know what I'm saying? You give me a list of stuff and I'll go in there and I'll do it. And I'll say, this is what expert, whatever. But,
I want to say, like, you go to the hospital and they have, I see sometimes we go to the hospital a lot lately, and my family was just there last night, actually, in the emergency room. And they pay someone to walk around and offer you a warm blanket. Can I get you some water? Can I do this?
Exactly.
Hey, you got to go. We need a child abuse expert. She's going to take your place, whatever salary you were getting.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, We can pay
Amen. That's
people
what
to
I'm
hand out
saying.
warm blankets out of the toaster oven, but we can't have a child abuse expert on staff.
Hey,
What's
I'll be
wrong
the
with
expert.
people?
Like I said, you just ask them a few questions. Make sure you talk to that
Listen,
kid. I
there
mean,
doesn't even have to be that there's somebody in the hospital. All they have to do,
on call. Yeah.
all
Somebody
they
that
have
you
to
can
do
call.
is have somebody on call, and the child doesn't go anywhere. The
Right.
child doesn't go
You know,
anywhere.
we said it a million times. We would have been okay if they said to Brianna, well, you can't take him home either. He has
Right,
to stay
right.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He'll be
Yeah.
safe. That's fine. And you know
Right.
what? We could have said to Corey, you know what? They finally heard you. You just have to stay here until they sort it out, but you'll be safe. You'll be away from him. And he would have been
Right.
okay with that.
Right, right,
You know,
right,
but
right.
that's not how it happened. And it's,
Yeah.
like I said, until they make these changes, and I don't know who they are. I say this all the time. I don't know where the hell to go with it, but until changes are made, and it can't just be the hospital. It has to be everybody. It has to be
Yeah,
law.
it has to be
the schools. It
systemic.
has to be, it has to be everybody.
Yeah.
It can't just be one agency. It's everybody has to be on the same page.
It has to
Right.
be systemic. Do you know if anybody reached out to the missing and exploited? Did anybody reach out to that group?
So I put them, I didn't reach out, but I have them on my page now as
I saw
recommended
that.
to. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw that you had a link to them on your
Yeah. Yeah.
and I just want to say somebody asked if me and Rebecca were the paternal and the maternal grandparents. The paternal grandmother is a POS, and I am not her. I am a content
who?
creator as well.
You know what? She's not a POS. She's a see you next Tuesday. That's what that grandmother
Okay.
is. I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now. She is wicked, evil. And if she fell out in front of me and couldn't breathe, I wouldn't help her. I'd piss on her. I'm telling you right now. I have no compassion for
Yeah,
this.
so I'm not her. I'm
Yeah.
not her.
You are
Lynette.
not her. No, Toddy, I'm not peeing on you.
Yeah. Yeah, Toddy One is a content creator, guys. Welcome to Toddy One below. Rebecca's a regular on the show now, guys. So get used to it because we're gonna be having her here once a month.
I'm
So yeah,
entertainment.
you definitely got me. I know it's not a funny situation, but that's how I
but
cope
you
with
have to
things.
laugh a little bit.
Yeah,
Or,
I can't. Otherwise, I can't deal with it. But like I said, I mean, if you take that either on call or you take that expert to just down to someone that hands out blankets and you fill something out and that's just I think that I wish I was in New Jersey so I can help do something, but in California I can't help because it's only state to state or county to county.
But did anybody reach out? I do have a channel. It's Toddy One Skip on YouTube. Thank
Can
you
one
for
of you guys
asking.
drop the link down there? I thought you were gonna dual stream. I didn't know.
I just got out of the shower. I woke up late. I took care of the dogs, and I just got here on time. I just
Right.
got here 2 minutes before, so it was more important that
Yeah,
I just get
it's
here.
all good.
And then I was coughing and stuff, as you saw, and my nose is running. So the allergies are horrible here right now. But
Yeah,
I'm
here too.
sorry.
I'll drop your link.
I donated some money to them at the end of last week because the channel gives away, not that we give away, we donate at
Right.
least 10%. I was
Right.
fortunate we were able to do 20%, but the thing is that did anybody call and see if there's anywhere to go with
No,
this?
but I have Tiff in New Jersey that can help us. She helps me
Cool,
with the
cool.
channel and the merch and stuff. So she's here, she's listening. She
Cool,
absolutely gets stuff done. That's for sure. If you need something or I need something, she's on it. So I think it'll be helpful to have her being local. She's really local to Rebecca.
Yeah.
I mean,
Great.
because I would go down to the school right now and say, hey, I want every child that comes up to this, because we have therapists and stuff at our school like most, right? And let them have a box where the child can safely. I would do that. Like
I would go to the school and at least start a conversation.
Right.
I have
Start a
pool in my school.
conversation, and actually, you can stream
Yeah.
it live. You can stream it
Right.
live on. I mean, I'm not trying to speak out for Jay, but if you go in there or my channel, if you go in there, sometimes having,
Right.
between both of our channels, we have about 40,000 people.
Yeah.
Sometimes that makes a difference, and we're
Right.
behind you, and we're behind you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so if you went to the school and said, listen, you know, I think this is something we could do. Can we have this conversation? I could get the support of 40,000 people right now. What is it that we need to do? And
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
just
You
start
also have the
something.
Yeah, and you
Just
have the 20,000 people that you can help sign a petition right away, plus our channels. I mean, I know it's overwhelming at first, the steps, but I've been seeing it over and over be done with this law and this law. It's just got to be really targeted at something specific, and then the next and next. You know, if I was there, like I said, I would definitely get down there, boots on the ground. But anything I can do, I always say, let me know. And
No,
yeah,
Tiff,
absolutely. I feel the same way.
yeah, Tiff is
I
there to
think,
help.
you know, we're going to start moving in the right direction. I got some information from someone who, I don't want to say too much about her, but she knows a lot of people, and she's on the, what's the word I'm looking for? She knows who to talk to and how to get things done, kind of like the whole politics thing, you know.
Oh, good.
Yeah. She just 2 days ago, you know, Brianna had put a post up for our, I don't know, Senator Cory Booker. And she wanted people to reach out to him. And this person told me, no, he's not the one. And she gave me the name of another person that she feels that we should reword the letter and send it to him. And she said, you know what? You don't even need your members from all over the world messaging this person or sending a letter. All it would take is you, one phone call.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Help you, you know, maybe write this law. So I'm working on talking to, you know, this person. I'm going to put a call in tomorrow and, you know, just see how far we get with that. You know, I'm hopeful.
Yeah. I see it all the time.
The hospitals aren't going to talk to me because they're afraid that I'm trying to maybe sue them or something.
And there is a lawsuit going on with your daughter in all fairness.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, it's for DCP&P and several other people who work for DCP&P are named in that lawsuit, not the hospitals, doctors.
Yeah, but you got witnesses from the hospital, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think that keeps a lot of people from talking, you know, because they're afraid they're going to be called as a witness for, you know, something, and then
you don't want to do anything to jeopardize that either for Brianna. So
exactly.
You know.
So
yeah, but you're right. It would just take one person to go in, and I see families that are way less able to communicate, their communication, their presence, the way you know, your presentation, that doesn't even have half of what you do getting things done. It's just doing it and then just one thing at a time for each. So I think you have a good start. It sounds like you do anyway.
Yeah,
or a good idea. I think you can accomplish a lot.
Something happens, you know, we have to fix it. Like I said, there's more Corys every day. You know, that's not going to change unless we make the change, you know.
Right.
You know, just sitting down, being quiet, you know, isn't going to help. And, you know, I feel like in Corey's case, everybody was going to be okay, meaning law enforcement and others, with just charging Chris with endangerment. They weren't going to pursue this murder or aggravated manslaughter charge. But Brianna decided to go on Facebook and start this group, Justice for Cory, and it really just grew. And I think that if she didn't do that, I don't think we'd be where we are today. I think he would have been charged with the endangerment, and he probably would have already gotten out. He would have served his 3 years, you know, whatever. He would have gotten out already, and life would have went on for him. Right. I think that they knew that we weren't going to take that. They could see where we were going, and we weren't going to be quiet. So they had to pursue it. And, you know, I think, I don't think it's because nobody believed that he did it. I think it was just a hard case to prove.
Right. Right. You know? And I think maybe the pressure of all those people, you know, made them realize, oh, we can't, this isn't something we're going to be able to just slide under the carpet.
Right. It's not going to go away. And
I think the same thing with the power of the followers that are on the channels and such like that. The numbers, they do matter. I hate to say it, they matter.
They do. They
matter.
Yeah.
And you do have the support of over 40,000 people, and then over 60 because you have a Facebook page of 20,000. I mean, that's more than half of 100,000. That's pretty impressive. So I think that, you know, you have the clout, the power to maybe
Yeah.
make a difference.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
definitely do. I think before we get into the letter, I got this thing that we played a while ago. It might make Rebecca laugh a little bit. This what happened to Christopher Treadmill Dad from jail. Do you mind if we watch that for a bit and you get your it's like 5-minute clip
No, I'd love to watch it.
and you can get your letter together so we can go over the letter. All right, guys, everybody, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button so that this gets in the algorithm. This is the reach that we need. I mean, media nowadays is social media. It goes right to the news, right? It comes from the news and then goes right back out. So we do have the power and we do have a good outreach. So let's laugh a little bit at this and hope that this actually did happen, or maybe we'll just fantasize about it. All right.
Just the other day, I had got some updates on Christopher Gregor and what's going on with him in the jail he was in before he was just sentenced to his time. He's in a county jail in New Jersey. And a friend of mine told me some stuff that has been going on with Christopher Gregor that the news is not reporting. Well, before I get into that, you don't know who this just demon from hell, this betrayer of all betrayers. He took his son, a 6-year-old little boy, out to a gym somewhere, had him running on a treadmill. Now, myself as a father, one of the greatest things you can do is share something you love with your son, whether it's fitness, hunting, fishing, whatever it may be, video games. But this demon piece of shit brings his son, gets him on the treadmill. First, the kid probably thinks, oh, wow, this is awesome. Could you imagine as he falls and the father just keeps putting it on faster, telling him he's fatter and fatter. Ultimately, the kid just keeps falling because he's 6 years old. What are you doing? This was his way to murder his son and try to make it look like an accident because he hates his life and he's a weak coward, just demon from hell. That's the only way I could put it.
Yeah, Rebecca agrees.
That when you see
Oh,
this,
yeah.
which I highly suggest you don't. But when
this guy tells it as he sees it, and same words from Rebecca. So I like that.
Real quick, I just want to share something. I just came to mind. I spoke with the facility where Chris is now currently living, and you know how you guys do I think it's called a FOIA. In New Jersey, we're not allowed to get jail calls. We can't request it. It has to be law enforcement, like the prosecutor or detective or something. So we're never going to get his jail calls. We're never going to.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that was a little disappointing.
Can you get anything? Are you able to get anything out of the FOIAs or?
Nope.
No.
Nope,
wow.
Not in New Jersey. Not unless you are law enforcement, like an agency like the prosecutor's office, the FBI, somebody,
That sucks. Every once in a while, somebody will do that. So like content creators sometimes are officers, right? They do their officer in the day and then they content create. So I wonder, Tiff says New Jersey won't give anything.
Nope.
That sucks. Well, let's listen to this for a minute and then we'll get back to it. Let's hope this happens then. Prison justice is all we can hope for, and that he comes out haggard AF when he's done with the rest of his 20 years, right?
When you watch it, it is literally the epitome of if I could only just be alone with this guy for 5 minutes. Well, how do you think convicts feel that are in prison or jail just for stupid shit? They have nothing but rage and anger. They're missing their family, or they just see something like that. An average guy just in there on some dumb shit, and you already know what time it is. Prison politics, jail politics, whatever you want to call them, it already is mandatory that you have to hurt this dude. But the rage you would feel after seeing that video on the news and then knowing that literally you could do anything you want to this guy and get away with it. So a friend of mine named Dirty Red, I grew up with him in Florida, but he ended up moving out to Jersey and whatever, got a case up there. Him and I have been talking here and there, just telling me what's up. He's got family out here. I helped him out with a few situations.
Really
and
slow.
He called me one day laughing, telling me some funny shit. And what I'm about to say, no pun intended. He goes, hey, bro, you know that video with that treadmill dad you did? He was asking me some questions. Bro, I got some funny shit to tell you. I go, what's up? What's going on, Dirty? And he goes, look, it's hard to get their hands on him, but you're gonna like this one. So I guess he's part of like the trusty crew that serves the trays or whatnot to the inmates on that little protective custody wing. He's in there crying, acting like he's the victim. Real coward, weak piece of shit. And everyone is just always spitting on him, throwing shit on him. Just anywhere he goes, he's constantly being harassed. But this one particular incident really was funny. He said he was with the dude. They passed him his tray through the little flap. He said they mixed up a cocktail. They had rotted milk mixed with piss and shit. They said they played the long game with him, acted like they were his friend. And in a place like that where people just want to cut your head off and you get any type of just guy being nice to you, you have to know it's a trap. But this guy just being such a weak coward, he had no idea what was about to happen. So
20 more years.
Like normal. And they're like, hey, bro, how are you? You know, they were talking to him for a couple of days. All of this was just to get the milk rotted and mixed with the, they called it concrete shit. They said they loaded up that Dookie AR with the rock.
Just remember, he's got 20 more years of this. He either hangs out with the white supremacists or he hides behind God. That's what he gets to do.
Yep.
That's what he gets to do. We'll finish this up and then we'll get to the letter. I just have to, like, in my mind, remember he's behind bars and he's got a hard 20 more years to do. Good.
Rotted milk, shit, piss, whatever else they put in there. And when I say that Dookie AR, it's like a shampoo bottle mixed with just all types of shit in there, and then put a little hot water in there, some coffee, whatever they do, shake it up, and they squeeze that bottle, and obviously through the bottle just all over. So they were talking to him for a couple of days. They had already prearranged all this. And obviously, if this is what you're going through in jail, just wait till you go to prison, you know. But he told me it's impossible. He said, you know, you can't get to him. You know, the wardens is there, and everyone's there making sure he goes and gets the justice and gets sentenced to prison. After that, it's fair game, but they have to get to court. Too many eyes, too many judges, too many prosecutors, too much shit going on. So anyway, back to the story. So after about 3-4 days of them, you know, like kind of rocking him to sleep, you know, gently telling him like, you know, bro, you're going to be all right, bro. Shit happens, man. Da, 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 you know, fooling him. And he's like, yeah. He's like, hey, man, you smoke cigarettes? He's like, yeah, man, please, bro. They're like, we got you, bro. They'll roll the cigarettes up in like the wrapping that covers the tissue paper, the toilet paper. And they rolled up a regular cigarette, handed it to him. And he looked back like, hey, y'all got a lighter? And dude's like, hey, bro, what? He comes down a little lower, all the way to the flap. Like, you got a little lighter, you could light it. He's like, yeah, hold it up real quick. They made him like kind of bend down into the flap, put the cigarette there, and they just let the clip of Dookie, milk, piss, shit, jizz fucking combo right in his face. They said he was trying to run away and they're squeezing it through the whole fucking thing. He's getting hit in the back. He's falling down. They're hitting him just everywhere. He can't escape it. They just sprayed his whole cell with it and they bounced. They run back to the officer who I don't know if he knows or didn't know. And they're like, hey, man, dude in there got a cigarette. He's smearing shit everywhere, man. You need to go check on bro. They end up putting him in the psych unit. Fucking took away all his property because he had contraband.
All right. If only that really did happen, that would be funny. I don't know. But that's funny.
So let me
Right.
just, I want to just tell you something. So let me just tell you something. I've been there. I've been right where he was talking. I did it in my head. The only difference was I had commissary. I had commissary that I had to go through with the inmates up there. So, I mean, he's definitely describing the place where he would be.
Yeah.
Whether that really happened or not, I don't know. But I know that that wouldn't be impossible. The details of that, I would have to say, I would buy that story. So
Yeah,
I
think
I
it's
would believe that
possible.
story, Rebecca. I personally would believe that story.
I'd like to see proof of it, but listen,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Rebecca,
don't know
mean,
about that. But I would believe that story. The only thing that he didn't mention that I am just sussed about is, and that something that you would think they would know, is that he is the son of a cop, and that is not a good look either. So
No.
what he could be in protective custody for that, as well as the the unaliving of your grandson.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Anyway.
Nope. I know.
I
And
enjoyed
Toddy-
that though. I enjoyed seeing that in my head.
Oh yeah, I could picture it, but
So, I mean, he's not going to have a fun time the next amount of years, right? Prison's not going to be fun for him at all. Spoiled rich boy that was used to, doing his thing. He's not
right.
going to have a fun time. So whether he gets his ass kicked a few times or he's just hiding out in his cell all day getting fat, that's all we can hope for.
You think about it, it's got to be tough to not have anybody around you that you can, he's pretty much alone,
Yeah.
So that's got to be hard, because
You got to like yourself. You got to really like yourself to spend time with yourself. And I don't
and
think
Right. And when you have time alone, that's when your mind starts thinking. And, one day he might realize what he did, but I wouldn't expect him to admit it.
Yeah, he's just gonna come out a little bit angrier and a little bit older. And his parents seem to be the only people that probably give him commissary, that probably talk to
Right.
him. I can't imagine. I haven't seen any girls saying, "Oh, Christopher Gregor." Haven't
Well,
seen
there's
that.
one. He's
Oh,
got a
is there?
girlfriend, so
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
assuming she's still around. I don't know, but
Well,
I don't
that's a
know. I don't
dumb.
know if somebody's going to wait on somebody for 20 years, Rebecca. I don't know.
yeah, I doubt it. I mean, you never know, though.
Yeah,
You never know.
weird things happen.
You
Right.
know,
All
it
right.
doesn't matter even if he had a bunch of women writing to him because he's a piece of shit sitting in a jail cell and he can't do
Yeah.
it. He will never have the freedom in that jail because of who his dad is and of what his crime is. He will never have freedom in general population without
Right.
having to, grow eyes in the back of his head. Because as you said, Jay, perfectly, there are plenty of people that haven't had violent acts that are doing time that are missing their kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they see this guy who had his kid and look at what he did to him.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
And this wasn't a low key story either. This was
No.
everywhere. So,
and they know
um,
that his dad was a cop.
yeah,
They know that his dad was a cop. So,
Right.
right. Well, he's a little bitch boy anyway. So let's hear the letter this month. I look forward to this.
It was a short one. So I sent it on the anniversary of Corey's death. Um, the 4-year anniversary. So it was on
Right.
April 2nd. So I wrote, and here we are, the dreaded day you took my grandson from me 4 years ago today. We still have his Easter basket from 4 years ago that he never got to enjoy. You ended his life on Good Friday on April 2nd, 2021. We still have his clothes, toys, and bedding. The picture of the solar system still hangs on the wall in his bedroom. I know you and Mario wanted everyone to think that Corey lived in my basement, but that wasn't true. He had a room right next to mine. I have a finished basement with full-size windows. It's quite nice. That was Brianna's room. I'll be moving out of this house in a few weeks. This is the last place where Corey felt loved and safe, where he laughed and played, where he was allowed to be a kid and enjoy life. This is where we lived while you were abusing Corey for all of those months prior to his death. This is where we sat on the phone with GCPMP begging them to help Corey. This is where Corey wrote "I died" in chalk on the sidewalk 5 days prior to his death. Corey knew he was going to die, and he knew it would be you that ended his life. This is where we were on April 2nd when you called Brianna demanding Corey's insurance card after you beat him and waited until he was within an hour of death before taking him to the hospital, refusing to tell Brianna what hospital you were taking him to. This is where we were, calling local hospitals trying to find Corey. This is where we were when we called Barnegat police begging them to find Corey because we knew you had done something to him. This is where we were when Englishtown police knocked on the door to tell us Corey was dead. We thought they were wrong. Corey was fine when Brianna dropped him off at your apartment that morning. We knew you did something. You were mad because Corey told the doctors that what you were doing to him. You knew you were finally going to have to face the consequences of your actions. You badgered him that morning, slapped him around a bit. Then you punched or kicked him, lacerating his heart and liver. And Corey probably never uttered a word because if he did, he knew that would anger you more. He probably became sleepy and weak. He lost the ability to control his bodily functions. Evidence was on his clothes in your kitchen trash can. His body was shutting down. Corey was dying, and you ordered McDonald's and called your whores. And you took that awful selfie with Corey, the one where he was barely conscious, his lips were bluish, skin was ashen. You finally decide to take him to the hospital, and on video at the hospital, you leisurely walk in with my dying grandson. No urgency, just casually stroll in. You are definitely a special kind of dirtbag. Wow, I'll bet your parents are proud. The online master's degree doesn't mean shit now. I still don't know why you did this. You had very little responsibility. I know your dad forced you to be a father. You could have just left Corey with Brianna and visited on weekends, but Daddy wouldn't have that. I mean, what would people think? Chris had a bastard child. We must take him and mold him into one of us. You should have stood up to your dad and told him you didn't want to be a father. You didn't do that because you didn't want to disappoint him once again. We all know you were a big disappointment. In trouble in Connecticut when you were in college. Remember when you broke into the girl's dorm room and robbed her, and the two guys confronted you and you assaulted them? Remember the domestic violence charges and the restraining order? How about going way back to your high school days? You were selling weed to a girl and something happened and you put your hands on her. You were a disappointment and you took all of your anger out on Corey. You were not a good kid and the son of a highly decorated state trooper. So I blame your dad for what you did to Corey. He should be in the cell right next to you. Your whole family should be there. They saw what was happening and didn't say anything. They all lied to DCP&P. Brianna has a jacket hanging on her bed. Although his smell has disappeared or dissipated, she still keeps it there to remind her of the child she loved.
You take a break for a second.
I'm okay.
You guys, mad prayers, okay?
She still keeps it there to remind her of the child she loved more than anything. The child you resented, abused, and finally ended his life. They say time heals all wounds, but that's a lie. I'm still as sad, angry, and bitter as I was 4 years ago, maybe even more. I will never forgive you, not that you care. You have some time to think about what you've done. Most inmates, I love calling you that, turn to religion or gangs in prison. And
Yep.
let's face it, you are not
Yep.
down with the gang life. You are too weak and only pick on defenseless women and children. So have you found God? Well, look at the time. I have to run. But don't be sad. I'll write again next month to remind you of Corey's birthday. We celebrate him even in death by making a donation to a school, doing great things in Corey's memory. Put me on your visitors list. I'm dying to see you and speak in person. Bye for now and have a nice day.
Another month. Another month down. That's tough. Sorry.
Sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, he doesn't reply back to the letters. Marcy hasn't replied back.
Not
And it's
yet.
really too, yeah, not yet. You say it will wear on him at some point.
Yeah.
So in New Jersey, the FOIA, you're saying that nothing, you can't get anything from a FOIA there. It's
From
like
what
completely.
the person on the phone said to me, oh no, not unless you are from like the
Okay.
prosecutor's office or something. They don't give that to anybody. She asked what I wanted it for. And I said, just for my own personal just knowledge of what he's up to. And she said, no, it's not something we do.
That's
in New
crazy.
Jersey.
I
And,
don't know why they do that. Why he has rights like that.
we
I mean, if
protect
this was
I
Florida,
don't think it's just him now. It's the
well, no, it's New Jersey. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
absolutely. Florida is like open.
Yeah, no, they'll
for
give
everything.
you everything. They'll give you
Yeah.
yeah, as long as you pay for it. That's the way Florida is.
Yeah.
but New Jersey doesn't allow it. I don't know if I told you guys, but I've written to 2 other inmates that are, there with him in hopes that I could get friendly enough that they would invite me for a visit. And nobody wrote back to me. I don't know
Really?
if I have to include pictures, and maybe I'll take pictures of somebody else that's not me and get them a little more interested or something. But, I'm trying to make friends with other people, so I might get an idea of what's going on, but nobody wants to be my friend right now.
Why don't you I don't know, how you know who's there or not, to be honest with you. But why don't you I'm surprised that nobody would write back to you I mean,
How
But
long has it
that's
been? How long has
not
it
only
been?
that, but you would think somebody would say, "Hey, listen, I'll write back to you. Just put some money in my commissary." You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Well, I
You would
kind of
think-
indicated that I would hook them up every month, but they still, nobody, unless they didn't get my letter. Maybe the guards read it and thought,
How long ago was that?
that
Well,
was my
yeah,
first
I'd have
letter
to
I
see
wrote
that
to
letter
Chris.
to know if it went through.
So
That was in the very beginning.
it was in like September. So
Okay.
I figured I'd reach out and get some pen pals, and nobody responded. And the only thing I can think of is maybe they didn't, whoever reads the letters first just decided it wasn't a good idea because they probably.
If you said I want to be friends so that I could get some dirt on him, they probably didn't put that
I
letter
didn't
through.
kind of say it that way. I kind of played it off like, hey, I think I know somebody else who's in there with you. Not sure, whatever. And I kind of played it off like, I don't remember. I think he like killed his kid or something. Like I just kind of played it off like I didn't know. But unfortunately, my last name tells a lot. So if somebody reading the letter,
Micciolo, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of the jail again? Or the prison? I'm sorry, I showed it before.
New Jersey State Prison. It's the old Trenton State.
Yes, I
prison.
knew it was Trenton. I knew it.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. I happen to have his SBI number that if anybody wants to write to him, I happen to have his inmate number if you'd like me to share that.
Yeah, because I'm going to look up inmates right now. That would be good.
Yeah,
let's share that.
The S like Sam, B like boy, I number is 000-582-757G, like George.
757.
And that's Christopher Gregor's inmate number. And you can write to him at New Jersey State Prison in Trenton, New Jersey. I don't have their address right here.
Toddy's
look it
laughing.
You can look it up.
Yeah,
you actually can. Yeah. You can just look it up on the state prison.
If you just put his, you go on the NJDOC and you put in that SBI number, it tells you where he is, how to write to him, and you can even send him commissary if you want. I don't know anybody that would, but
don't send them commissary.
No, I'm saying that they
send
offer
a shampoo bottle just like the other inmates. You can't send
I'd like to send them some dead fish and chicken feet and ham hocks, but I don't think they let you choose what you send.
You can't send. Yeah, unfortunately.
You know what I think is really funny? Mario Gallucci. What is he? Italian?
I'm gonna put this up real quick.
Name, right?
Yeah, the lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
like
do
he
it.
didn't understand the message behind throwing a dead fish on somebody's doorstep.
All right, guys.
He didn't know what.
Here's this piece of. There's the piece of trash, you guys. I just looked him up.
Oh.
Easy peasy. That number really does work. Thank you, more. 1967 for the $5 super sticker. All right, there he is. So I typed in that number that you gave me, and lo and behold, Christopher Gregor. Yep. And there's the booking picture. It looks like someone hit him in the neck. I'm gonna drop the link here, you guys, so you guys can see if you type that number in, what she just gave. It comes right up. You can see right here, right? 00582-757G. And
I do hope somebody writes to him. I hate to think that he's lonely in there, and I'd love for him to get a few pen pals.
Yeah, you guys right here. I dropped the link. You got the number. 6'1", 220 pounds. When he comes out, he's gonna be 5'9", 350 pounds. That's what I'm gonna say. And look at that. Manslaughter, aggravated 1, endangerment, welfare child, responsible adult 2. And I
don't think that weight is right. I don't think that's accurate, because that's pretty tall. For him only to be 225 pounds, I don't think that's right. I think he's more like 260.
Probably. Yeah,
that's my opinion. I think that's not accurate. Not that that matters. I'm just saying. I think he's a little heavier than that.
Right. He's in protective custody. He needs a pen pal or a doctor that killed a lot of people. Isabel Cruz. I can't write because I have someone that works there, but you can write to Jesse. You see the name Jesse?
There's a pen pal right there.
There's a pen pal right there, Rebecca, if you want to write that down. Jesse.
Wait, that's one of the ones I think I wrote to. Wait a
minute. Because
I'm going to write to him again.
All right, yeah, write to Jesse and tell him Isabel Cruz. You could reference Isabel's name, maybe. That might help. Jumpsuit Pablo.
I don't
can't,
know. I wouldn't use Isabel's name because she.
Oh no.
Oh
No.
yeah,
She
yeah.
knows
You're
somebody
right.
that works there, I think.
Yeah, I'm just reading it right now. Yeah, she can't write because somebody that works there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put his name. You got that? And yeah, I don't think Jumpsuit Pablo's gonna know much of anything. I can reach out to him, but he's more, Wade Wilson Entertainment.
Yeah, and
Oh
like
no, that's not true. That's not true. If there's things that he finds out, it's not just Wade. Well, he covers a lot of inmates, and he even will cover some shorts about things that he finds out.
Okay, maybe
And
you want to reach out to him
JD
then.
Delay as well. I've reached out to him and
Yeah.
help for Nick Godejohn, but
Right.
I didn't reach out for him and
Did he
help, and
reach back?
I
Did he-
didn't. He has a lot of subscribers, so he doesn't know who I am. But I'll try again. What the hell? We'll try.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I mean,
I do a lot of like just
Yeah.
screwing around on YouTube and stuff, and I found there's a couple of
bookmark this.
inmates in Trenton State or New Jersey State Prison where Chris is, and these inmates get on the
we're not
phone
going to use your name.
and they do like a podcast while they're on their phone. I guess they get so many minutes on the phone, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how are they doing this? And
Yeah,
not
so-
getting caught for one, I'm like,
Yeah, but they're not showing their face.
no, they usually have something like, but it's
Yeah,
just, I'm
yeah.
thinking, gosh, wow, imagine if Chris just happened to walk behind him or something and I could see him. But of course, he's in protective custody, so
Right,
that's not
right,
going to happen. But
Right.
I just thought, why can't I find one of these people? Like, anybody out there, you have any family members in New Jersey State Prison that wants a pen pal, hook me up because I want to write to people.
She wants to know what's going on with Chris on a daily.
Yeah, how did you
Life
find
like
that?
on a daily.
How did you find the other inmates that go there? I mean, is there like a pen pal
You
program?
can look up famous inmates at New Jersey State Prison. One was the guy who killed the little girl, Megan Kanka, in New Jersey. That's how we got Megan's Law. It was named after her.
Oh,
And
yes.
the other, I believe, is a nurse that killed like 25 patients or something. That's who I wrote to. I can't remember their names right now. So I did, there's also
She's not going to be in prison with him. She might have been in jail with him. but
it's a male nurse,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I also found you can get a pen pal. There's guys looking for love and stuff that are, and they're on like this dating site.
That's what
And
I was
so-
thinking.
Yeah, I went on and I chose one, and I haven't written to him yet, because my only fear is, God, what if he
Toddie's
gets
cracking
out?
up.
If he gets out and comes knocking on my door, Nikki is going to be putting me in somewhere in a psych ward. She's going to kill me. I'm nervous. Like, what if
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I don't want to
Swear to
get
God.
friendly with this man, and then his family comes knocking on my door saying, "Hey, Ramir said I could come stay with you or something." What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only
No,
reason.
it's better just to say, listen, I'm just looking for a pen pal. But when you start, let's say you become a pen pal and then it comes out who you are, I guess the same deputies are going to see that and maybe not let the letters.
I know that's what I'm afraid of.
The best thing to do actually is to reach out. If I were you,
There's some information up there, by the way, New Jersey State Prison, and with the schedule a visit and all that. Sent that over to me. I don't know if that'll be helpful.
Well,
but,
I tried to schedule a visit, and they told me that my inmate has to approve me.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they have to.
So
They're only allowed so many on their list anyway. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I think Rebecca, if you reached out maybe to Jumpsuit Pablo as a grandmother.
yeah, I think I did send him a message once asking him how he gets all the information on Wade Wilson and would he be able to do that here for me, and
he
I
actually
didn't
gets
hear back. I think I must have gotten lost in his,
Well, he
because
does.
he's a busy
He
guy.
uses phone calls from prison a lot. I don't know if he does his own.
Yeah, he did before. Listen, he's been around a long time before
Yeah.
the Wade Wilson stuff. So I know that, the Wade Wilson stuff was the first time I saw him use phone calls from prison. So he's done stuff before then.
Well,
and
that'd be
actually-
nice. That'd
yeah,
be nice.
he
I
has
don't know
people- 'cause
that.
he was doing the Murdoch case with people that were actually inside with Murdoch, and he was doing the videos with them on their contraband cell phones.
Yeah. Maybe he's it seems more entertainment, but I'd like to see that side of him to actually, I see it
Yeah.
a lot of joking. I see Jumpsuit
Yeah,
Pablo
because
as more.
he's very comedic and stuff, but
I
yeah,
didn't realize I
yeah,
thought it was
no.
just more like funny stuff.
Yeah. No, he does some other stuff too. So
Okay, yeah, that's a good. I mean, for
and
anybody
JD
else, too.
JD Delay is very good too.
JD Delay is more into that stuff, like
You know.
helping people, and
You
not
know.
to say Pablo isn't, but anybody that
Right.
wants to.
So you could reach out to JD Delay, and in the subject, I would just write who you are, not by name, but unfortunately, grandmother of dead child.
Right.
Because that's the subject that's gonna be the thing that maybe they'll open and say, well, what's this about? And then you could go into the story. That's worth something, Rebecca. It's worth
Right.
Now,
something.
he doesn't have a cellmate though, does he? Is he still in
They can
protective
still
custody?
find out. Well, that's the thing that they can find out just to get like, what's the word going on? Like, what's the word going on there? If they knew
Right.
anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
I think in protective custody you're by yourself, so I don't think he has a cellmate or anything.
But they
I
still
was
have
told-
trustees going through, doing the
Right.
commentary, doing the food, and he still gets out at least 1 hour. He's supposed to.
Right.
And there's still not cellmates, but trustees that are cleaning outside his cell door, that are
Right.
pushing a broom outside that cell door and cleaning that floor and the walls and stuff.
Right.
I know they're there.
I know. I don't remember who told me
People
This
this.
guy's
giving
in
him his
county.
laundry, everything. He's got to be given stuff. The deputies, they're trustees. They're only inmates given this stuff. I promise you.
Right. Yeah. But somebody told me, and I don't remember who it was, but they said that Chris can't stay in protective custody forever because they always have to make room for other inmates that are coming in that may need to be in protective custody. So eventually he's going to have to go out into the real
Right.
world.
That's what I was thinking too. He's not going to be able to be in there forever. And we just listened to Viking Mindset, Shadow. I think you missed that one. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of, you can just spend like 2 hours probably writing people and seeing, what to do. You definitely get some real good information. But if he's in protective custody, I wonder how far that would get. He's been in there a year now, right?
Yeah.
Roughly.
Well, August will be a year.
Yeah, that he moved to prison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think they
actually,
can.
Prison.
August 2nd is the 1-year anniversary of him going into prison. And we're having on August 2nd, we're having a Justice for Corey member appreciation picnic, just to say thank you to all of our members who supported us all along. So we're doing that on the 1-year anniversary of Chris's prison.
Yeah, you guys have a big following. 20,000 people for the Justice for Corey is significant. It's you can get a petition going or many things, right?
Yeah.
So
so we're doing that in August. On May 1st would be Corey's 11th birthday.
wow.
Not sure what we're doing, on that day. We used to always try to do something really big and, but we've learned that it doesn't have to be big and doesn't have to be a big deal. It just has to be meaningful, to us.
Right.
And so we've really scaled down a lot, what we do. Still has the same meaning, but
so I'm sorry. Did you see this comment by Isabel Cruz?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It says, unfortunately, that's not correct. He can stay in there his whole sentence. Jesse T has been there for 30 years and he's still there. Yeah, I mean, he could. If he's scared or any other reasons, he can.
Yeah. So every situation is different. Every situation is different. If he listen, all he has to do is get outside in general population, do something wrong and go back into the hole. That's as easy as that, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? He definitely can, but he doesn't. Corey has no life. Chris Chris's life was definitely not to the extent of Corey's, obviously, because Corey's no longer here. But Chris took a hit here, and hoping that he takes some physical hits, to be honest with you, as you know. Prison punishment, jail justice, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And I'm hoping that the story that the thing that you showed with that content creator was true. I'm really hoping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Viking mindset. He talks a lot about
I've seen
prisoners.
him before. I've
Yeah.
seen him before. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I like him. He's my kind of guy, that Viking. I
You
like
can reach out to him. Reach out
Yeah.
to him.
I have, and he didn't get back to me. I don't have the right look. These young ones don't want nothing to do with me. They don't want to contact me. I'm not the one for them, you know. They don't want to be. If I
no,
were
it
20
just
years
takes.
younger, maybe, you know, but nobody wants to write back to an old grandma. Nobody, you know.
Well, you don't look like an old grandma. But
Well, first of all, if they knew who you were, I think for 100% sure that they'd write back.
Yeah, and you know, I may not be reaching out the proper way, because the only, like with Viking, I just went on one of his whatevers and I just put a message in there. I don't know how to reach him. You know,
that's what you need to do. Is he only has 25,000 followers. He's not like Jumpsuit Pablo. How does he have 300,000 or something?
Yeah,
so that's a little harder, like to get a hold of somebody like that.
Yeah,
So,
and
Viking
you know what
mindset.
I would do? I would reference the video that he put up. You know what I mean? Like in the subject. I am the grandmother of Corey Micciolo, Christopher Gregor.
Yeah. He would definitely get back to you then. That's a good idea.
I wonder if you could get on his channel and
I'm on there right now. He's actually a TikToker mostly. He has Viking.
Oh no, he got an email or something that you could.
Yeah, most of the time he's on TikTok, but he just moved over to YouTube. And let me see. I think his email address is here. Let me look right now. Oh, it is. Let me give it to you. It's Viking Mindset 11@gmail.com. I bet you he would answer you back.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me put it up here. I mean, I'm coming up to, I'm 23,000 something, and I still can read emails, but it takes me a while to get back. So the more you get, the harder it is to like talk with individuals. But I think he would. He's got, what did you say? Yeah, he's a TikToker, 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and then he came over here to YouTube.
Wow. I'll reach out to him. You know, Bree just started this whole TikTok thing, and I don't understand.
I know.
Listen,
I don't even know.
I don't know how it works, but she came to me yesterday and she said,
I've been following her.
She's like, Mom, I want to do a TikTok video today, but I want you to be in it. And I said, well, you got to bring me lunch and then I'll do it. Right. So she brings me this dry chicken sandwich from Burger King. And I'm like, okay, so what do we have to do? And she was like, just get in here and talk shit like you always do. I said, all right. So we're sitting there and the camera's, you know, the phone's facing us and I'm chewing on this sandwich. And I go to say something and I'm choking on this dry thing. And she's like, what's the matter? I'm like, I'm choking on this fucking chicken sandwich. I'm like, I don't think nobody's watching. I don't think this is. I said, this isn't the place for me. I don't do TikTok. You know, it's not I just don't get it. And I think we had 3 people come in and look at us for a minute. And it was like,
yeah, that's me too.
Want to watch me eat my sandwich. Like, I don't understand TikTok. It's not for me.
I'm not a TikToker either, man. I'm not. When I see them get mustaches and hats because they're giving you a tip, I'm like, that's not for me. You can keep your pennies. Keep
none
your
of that
hats
happened with us. Nobody was wearing hats or giving anything. It was bad. And I told her, I said, yeah, I think you better look into something. TikTok's not the thing for you. But she's actually going on tonight. She met up with this girl who her little brother was unalived by their stepfather or something, and he got out of jail recently.
Oh my God.
So Bree and this girl are going to do I guess you call it a live on TikTok. I have no
clue. Yeah, I've been following Bree too
tonight to talk about it. And I don't have all the details on that girl's story, but I do know that the person responsible recently was let out of prison, and the girl's not okay with that. And
of course not. Of
So
course not.
they were going to go on and talk about that, but I won't be going on TikTok again anytime soon.
I have trouble with it too. I'm like, what button do I press? What, like,
well, that was free. She's like, wait, and she's
What the
looking and she's
fuck?
like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I'm like, I'm over here choking on the sandwich. I'm like, get me out of here. Wasn't my thing.
Burger King. That was your worst choice. That's first of all.
I
Toddy,
know.
you
And I
had
said,
to.
gosh, I hope they're not listening. You know, anybody from Burger King, I just really gave them a bad
I
name.
love their
Oh.
chicken sandwich, to be honest with you.
Normally I do, but it was so
No.
dry yesterday. And
I
if
think
she
they put
hadn't-
out one of the best chicken sandwiches. The new
I
one.
used to love it.
No, where are
Yeah.
you? What state are you in? Not in California. They don't. That's like dog food over
No,
here,
it
man.
was dry. It was hard. And thankfully she
That's
got me a Dr. Pepper. I had the Dr. Pepper. I would have choked to death. I'm telling you, it was terrible.
Did you know that? I
ate the
just
whole
found
thing.
this out. Did you know that Dr. Pepper is the oldest soda in the United States?
No, but it's my
No.
favorite. I
It is
love
the
it.
oldest soda in the United States. I just found that out. Random trivia
I
there.
did not know that.
I'm gonna put that on my trivia thing on my page. Well,
Oh, wow.
according to Toddy, what's the?
But it's true. It's true that's true. And
Well, I
what?
Go ahead. I got to ask you a question about TikTok because your favorite person is always on TikTok, isn't she? Isn't all the
Gypsy
people?
Rose?
Yeah, Gypsy and all the followers are on TikTok.
Yeah,
You
but
must
let me
know
tell
how
you
to use
something.
it,
They're
right?
not pennies. They're not making pennies. Let me correct that. I mean, she's making money every month.
I don't get it.
I don't give a shit. You're not gonna give me enough to be throwing mustaches and hats
let
on
me
me.
Oh, I
ask you
wouldn't care
this.
about the mustaches and hats. I
Why-
just am too busy to be on TikTok and do that.
Why does somebody want to go on TikTok and watch Gypsy Rose when they could watch me?
I don't know. Yeah,
People are
well,
watching Gypsy Rose on her television
So
show.
is that what I need to do? I should
that
sit and watch
ridiculous or
myself
what?
and then people would watch me? Is that what I don't get it? Because, honestly, if she were my kid, and you can ask my kids because
You
I
wouldn't be
tell them
around.
freely,
Let me just tell you, if she was your kid, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't
around
be here.
talking about
I
it.
wouldn't be here.
yeah,
She
you
would
would
have killed me. But I maybe it's not a good thing, but if my daughters look a certain way, I'll say to them, you can't do that. Looks ridiculous. So, I mean, okay, Gypsy doesn't have a mom to correct her because
But she's got a stepmom
critical.
and she's got a
Right.
mother-in-law and
Right,
a
like,
husband, right?
I would say if she were my daughter, I'd be like, you're a mother now. You look stupid prancing around in your little outfits and stuff. I mean, that's ridiculous, but she continues.
Even as a
to do
mommy
it.
murderer, she shouldn't have been dancing around like that anyway.
No. But
But
don't
yeah,
know.
those are the TikTokers. I hate to say that, but I'm not a TikTok fan.
no,
It's-
I don't. It's not my
I
thing.
I can't take true crime seriously when they're on TikTok doing it with stars and roses. I'm like, what is happening here? I'm just old school, right?
I just don't understand it. But
Thank you, Graciela. Micciolo
I-
family. Thank you. We love Rebecca and
Oh, thank
Gran.
you. Real quick, anybody hear anything more about Casey Anthony? I know she wanted to be an advocate for those who unalive their own children or something.
That's what we're looking at right
Where is
now. I mean,
she?
she's only done her first post. I believe she's still in Florida. I know she was in Florida last, so she's done the one post. I've been following her on that platform, and I have not seen a thing else. I'm following her on Substack. A lot of people are following her, but it's been crickets.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't it just come out I just found out about
I did
it.
an episode on it.
I don't really follow her or anything like that, but I heard
Oh,
that,
I will. I'm
that
following her.
that she was paying for her court costs by BJ's.
Oh yeah, no, she definitely slept with the attorneys. I mean, she moved in with one of them.
I
That's
was
what she's
gonna
been
heard
doing.
that.
took her in. Yeah.
That's
I heard
what
that
she's
she
been-
moved in, yeah.
Yeah, she did a whole documentary, and they're
these
in this
people are
weird.
proud of this shit. This is the thing that gets me. Like, these people are proud of this behavior.
So ridiculous.
Well, it's rewarding though when you have like Gypsy Rose behavior and everybody's looking at you and everybody's talking at you and you're making money. I mean, they're getting rewarded, so it's like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Casey Anthony is like I mean, she ruined Florida for people. That's all I ever hear is Casey Anthony when I cover the Madeline Soto case. People are like, Jen Soto better not get away with it, or it's going to be another Casey Anthony deal.
She is getting away with it.
Not
Seems
just
like
so
it.
far she is, but not really
Well,
because she's
she was
hiding.
given immunity on a few things. So what does that
Nah,
look
it
like
was
to you?
it was one thing, and it's because they wanted to fill in the blanks of what the hell happened to Maddie from 11 o'clock until 7 in the morning. Had she died, what happened? Is there a weapon that you know about? And she didn't give them anything. So it's a one-time deal. She is going to be a witness for the state, I'm sure. And she has to hide out. She can't go anywhere, or someone will literally
Listen, I
try to
don't think
take her
she
life.
has any kind of good life or anything like that. I don't think so. But
No.
I think that she should be behind bars right now.
We all agree with that,
Yeah,
but there's
yeah.
no heart. It's all circumstantial.
Not when you mention about your child, not the Woody Allen situation. Like that is not sir. I don't think so. No.
Well, they would already have a case and they would have went to a judge. They're just trying to look for, so they don't want another Casey Anthony situation because the people are upset already. So I mean, trust me, we're following everything she does. People are calling her mom and saying, "Why are you hiding her?" And you know, it's
Yeah,
it's not a nice life.
Yeah, she
But-
doesn't deserve one.
No,
she doesn't.
Yeah, she deserves the worst. Jennifer Soto, you deserve the worst.
Do you think she watches your
Oh,
shows
they
and
all
stuff? They do, right?
They
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Stephen Stern's mom reached out to me, and she's been reaching out to me. You know, the killer, Stephen Stern's
Oh,
the one
yeah.
that.
What did she
Yeah.
Oh, she's been talking to me and talking and talking and talking, telling me
I mean,
all
she
about.
knows her son is a piece of shit, though, right?
She watches
No.
my show. Yeah, she watches my show. She knows the shit we talk about, Stephen Stearns.
Yeah, but she doesn't think he's a piece of shit. She still has.
She
his
does.
back, right?
No, she still thinks he's a monster, but are they gonna, do they still love him and will they support him with commissary? Yes. And then in the next breath, she says that he's a monster and he did unspeakable things.
What
She
does she
even
say about Jen?
Oh my God, girl. The shit she
Yeah.
says about Jen is just, it's the funniest thing. I mean, she just says she's like a deep, dark hole of pity and of like a black hole. Like she just sucks you in and takes everything from you.
Did she
And-
did she have a relationship with Maddie? Was she like a grandma to her, or she didn't say?
She did.
Yeah.
She actually sent me pictures and said that she tried to spend as much time, but Jen tried to keep Stefan away from everybody. She said when Stefan was home, she would be on the phone with him constantly watching everything he was doing. And when they went together, she was always like just needy. You know, Stefan's mom had a talk with Maddie and Stefan about sleeping in the bed together. And she scolded them, and Jen still let it continue.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and without any, I don't mean any disrespect, but
Of course, it's her
Yeah,
perspective, though. But it's her
exactly.
perspective. It
That's
doesn't
her
matter.
son,
I want
exactly. I got
everybody's
news for
perspective.
ya. My mom and dad, I mean, come on, anybody's parents would have been like,
Yeah, but I get to hear that
scolded
side.
them.
It still
Yeah.
exists. It
Yeah.
exists because it happened in their mind. So I mean, I didn't know she wanted Stefan to marry her. She was calling him. So everybody was saying, why are they calling each other husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend? That was Jen. She wanted him to put a ring on it. We're like, why is she having that piece of shit, letting it be a stepdad? Because Jen wanted that to happen. That's why. So, I mean, yes, I just want everybody's perspective. Let's throw it in a pot and put the story together, right?
Yeah. I
So
don't
let
know
me ask
what.
you this. How did you get her to talk to you? Has she reached out to you because
I
she
re- Yeah, I messaged her like 6 months ago and I said, "Hey, I'd like to hear your side of things." She never did anything. They've been watching my show, watching it progress, and then all of a sudden on Sunday, like a Sunday before, she reached out for me and was like, it was kind of angry, it was passive aggressive. Yeah, I know you don't like me, but I'd like to tell, whatever. So yeah, she's been texting me and they're
Wow.
answering my questions right now. There were 77 questions from the community, and her and Chris are answering them.
Wow.
Cool. You should
Yeah.
get them on the channel. Get them on your channel.
Well, I'm trying, but there's a ton of hate. Even when
you
I'm
don't
talking to
you
her.
don't have to do it live.
I'm not doing anything
Yeah,
live with her.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not even doing anything, and people are like, I'm unsubscribing to you for giving her a platform. And I'm like,
Listen,
bye.
everybody deserves their side. Listen, they're allowed to say things, and you're exactly right in letting people decide.
Yeah.
I listen again, like I said to you, I don't mean any disrespect. And you were like, yeah, Toddy, I get it. It's her
Yeah.
perspective. You knew what was
Yeah.
coming that
Yeah,
way.
of course.
But anybody with an adult mind or a rational or critical thinking can say, all right, but if I hear from them, maybe it will make sense for something else. And it might not even be that you're getting the truth out of their mouth, but it's making sense and you're figuring out the truth just from their side. Like
Exactly.
it is not up to anybody to decide who we have on our channels.
Right.
Nope.
Or to put up this ultimatum of, if you do this, I no longer subscribe. Don't subscribe. Don't hold that shit over my head. Don't
Exactly.
subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't let people bully me like that. I'm not gonna not do that. If Stefan Stearns wanted an interview, I'd give it to him. I'm sure if Gypsy Rose would interview with you, you'd do an interview
I
with
would
her,
not.
right?
I honestly
you
would
wouldn't?
not. I'll tell you, I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. But I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah,
I'll
tell
you
me why, because I'm
The
curious
only reason
about
I
that.
would do with Stefan Stearns, I would do it with him. With Gypsy
Yeah.
Rose, I wouldn't do it because she's a liar. So to get her on my channel so that she could continue to lie would be
Right.
bullshit. I had her best friend on my channel who did something that was so black and white. I had a photo of it, and she got on my channel and said she didn't do it. I didn't argue with her.
Right.
Everybody knew she did it. I had proof she did it. And I thought to myself, it makes no sense for me to even talk to this person anymore because they're just going to lie. So no,
Right.
I wouldn't do that. But I would have Stefan Stearns on. I would have his parents on. I would have
Yeah.
Jen Soto on until they just started bullshitting me with
And,
lies.
and that's fine because they can lie all they want, but we can see through them and we get to judge that for ourselves. Like
Right.
if you're a journalist or a content creator, you don't want to just limit yourself. I would
but
interview.
I'm not a journalist and I don't have that schooling, and they're
Yeah.
two totally different things. Being a
Yeah.
journalist, being a reporter, being a content creator, three
Oh,
totally
I would-
different things.
I would totally. I came on here wanting to cover serial killers. I would go to the jail and talk to a serial killer, even if they lied. Everything I can get knowledge from that. So it's different, person to person, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't put Gypsy Rose on my channel, but if she ever wanted to come on my channel, I'll tell her you'll put her on yours.
I will.
I got
Hell
a
yeah.
friend
Well,
for you. I got a
Hey.
friend who can go on her channel.
oh
Or
yeah,
you
we
could
can.
tell Gypsy to go on TikTok with Bree. Maybe she can get Bree some followers.
Oh,
There you
she
go.
can. She can. That will skyrocket it. Say, hey, if you want to
Anyway,
do some good.
I want to let you guys know I finished my book today.
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how good it is because I finished my part, which is my run-on sentence that I started writing. So there's no
Right.
paragraphs, there's no chapters. But
That's what people
found-
are for. That's what other people are for.
yeah, but I found that it's not, this book isn't the end of the story because Chris is still finishing his sentence and because the lawsuit is still pending against DCP&P. So I found that I had to tell anyone who, at the end of this book, I said, and unfortunately, you'll have to wait for my next book to see how this ends because it doesn't.
I was about to say part
So,
2.
There
Part
you
2.
go.
there's going to be a
Yeah.
part 2.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't plan that. I just figured by the time I finished writing that everything else, I mean, I knew he'd still be in jail, obviously, because it wasn't going to take me 20 years or whatever. But I just knew that it was time to end the book where I was, and that's what I did. But knowing that there's going to have to be another book because the story doesn't end here, So
Right.
that's that. So I finished.
Absolutely. Yeah. There you go. Well, that's a big
So now-
milestone.
Just got to
I
make
have
it
to tell
happen.
you, I think that's awesome, Rebecca, and congratulations tenfold. So
Thank
that's such an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And as soon as it's you got a link for it, we can put it up on my channel.
Yeah,
I'm sure Gay's going to put it up on her channon.
I'm going to
Absolutely.
really work on getting it put together. Like I said, I want to have copies available. I don't want to just have where you order it on Amazon and then they make you a copy and send it to you. I want to buy them and have them sitting
Yeah.
in a box somewhere, you
Right.
know, or whatever. But anyway, so my new thing is I might be on TikTok, and here real quick, I know you guys got to go, but I just want to share this with you.
You're
I'm
good.
moving soon, and it's an old farmhouse that I'm moving into. And I'm looking into having chickens and things like that. So I might be on TikTok with my chickens. Sure,
I'm gonna watch out for that.
but
Yeah.
you might see me the crazy chicken lady or
The
something.
crazy chicken,
I'm gonna
chickens
do
everywhere.
Yeah. So that's my next thing. I'm gonna be a farmer of some
Well, there you go. That sounds
I
good
don't
to
know
me.
what
I
I'm
want-
farming, but
Congratulations on that as well. Congratulations on that as well.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
maybe you'll get more peace out there, right?
Yeah, I mean it's only right down the street. It's in the same town where,
Yeah.
you know, Chris and his family and all of us lived for many years, but I couldn't go too far because I didn't want to be away from Corey. You know, even though I know everybody says you don't have to go to the cemetery, he's wherever you are, but I have to go to the cemetery and I have to be close to it. So I couldn't move far away. So it's only right, you know,
Right.
very close by to where I am now and where I've lived in the past. But
that sounds nice, though. I mean, you know,
yeah,
take your mind off some things. When you do physical things, it kind of takes you out of that other element. You
yeah,
know?
it's just something, you know, something to do, new memories to make, you know, and so that's gonna
In
be
a challenge, an old farmhouse challenge.
Yeah, there's some definitely some things that, you know, we're gonna have to get used to, and you know, some
Are
things
you
we're gonna have to do. But
are you moving into a house now? Are you in a house now and you just
I'm in a townhouse condo
Okay.
now. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
own
gonna
it. I was renting, so I actually purchased this one. So that was one of my accomplishments.
congratulations.
That's
That's
awesome.
big.
To do
Yeah.
that.
That is
And
really
I
awesome.
did it without a husband or a man.
Look at the dog back there. It looked like there was a
Oh,
monkey walking back there.
Willow. There he is.
Maybe monkeys in the future.
There she is. Say hi.
No, is that a poodle? A black poodle?
Yeah, she's a poodle.
Oh my goodness, I love her.
She's
Oh
my
gosh.
emotional support dog.
Aw. Hey,
But-
I posted a picture of it with my dog, my Maltipoo, and people were talking shit to me. Did you get that poodle from Deb Stearns, Stefan's mom?
Oh my goodness.
People
Well,
are
mine
such
come from her either.
they're such haters, in this community, man.
I had Gypsy Rose actually comment in my comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told her to get out of my comments.
Oh, really?
I would
told
never.
her, and then I actually did a video on it, and I
I
said,
welcome everybody.
I said to her, you know, I have 20,000. I have less than 20,000 subscribers. You have over 9 million. What are you doing? Like, why are you in my comments? Why are you so
Right.
concerned with what I'm saying when you have over 9 million followers? Like,
Right.
something's wrong with that picture, you know? But no, I mean, like, I will talk to anybody, but if you're just going to come on my channel and just try to blow smoke up my ass, I'm not going to give you that platform.
Oh, well, you
No,
can't blow
no.
smoke up my ass. So
Yeah.
I'll sit there and smile and nod, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Everybody
But,
I
knows
don't
what.
want nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing blown up my ass. I've been having some serious troubles that have had me in the hospital, and it's
Okay.
related to that area. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want none of that.
No, just pet your dog and pet the. What's her name? What's your
The
dog's
dog,
name?
that's Willow.
Willow.
She's
Say
so
hi.
cute. I want a black little dog. I have a little Maltipoo that's 4 pounds, and
Yeah.
I
You
put a
got from
picture.
Stefan Stern's mom.
Yeah, Stefan Stern's
Right.
mom's breeding my next dog. You guys, I'm gonna have a show dog poodle from a breeder.
Willow's
People are-
about I guess Willow's a little over 6 pounds because
Okay.
she likes McDonald's hamburgers, just the patty, nothing else on it, no bread or anything, and she won't
Right.
eat anything else. That or some chicken occasionally. She won't eat
Wow.
dog food. She eats cat food though. She likes cat food, but so she
That's
might be a
funny.
little overweight. But as soon as I move, I'm gonna get her a friend because I feel like she's lonely.
Aw.
So I'm gonna get another little poodle. So she
Okay,
can,
well, Stefan Stern's mom, we're gonna call her up. She's in Florida. She breeds poodles.
oh, maybe you can get me a good price. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
So
no,
funny.
I actually I didn't. Willow came from a rescue actually.
Yeah, mine too. Somebody didn't want my dog. She got
Yeah.
knocked up. It was an accident dog.
Oh, wow.
She's the best accident dog ever. Love
Yeah,
her.
that's how I feel about Willow. She drives me crazy sometimes, but I'm glad to have her. I enjoy
Yeah,
having
Danny got pregnant, and I guess her family didn't want her anymore either. So I ended up with my girl. That's okay. We're trying to have a play date with her son. She doesn't know yet. I've reached out to the parent of her son
Oh, wow.
for a play date. I just can't wait to see how she would recognize him. You know what I mean?
Do you think they do
I
recognize
think
each
there's
other?
got to
Do
be
they
a smell or
know?
something. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when it
Oh,
happens
wow.
because I'm really curious. I'm
They
really
kind of
curious.
act like it. I had two Bichons that were brothers, same dad, breeder, and different moms, and they were the closest. I called them Brittany and Abby.
Yeah,
You
but
know
you
the,
had them in the same house together, right?
of course, but
Yeah,
not
no.
at
I'm
first.
just taking her to go see her son.
Well,
Like
that
they
I,
didn't
but
grow
I,
up together. They
well,
didn't.
they only grew up together because I got them. But yeah, they
Right,
like instantaneous
right,
attraction
right.
with each other. So maybe dogs are
She
better than
hasn't
people.
seen. She hasn't seen him. I would think she hasn't probably seen him in over a year and a half. I guess. I've had her for a year next month. So
Yeah,
yeah, and the same person that I got her from adopted her son. So that's So
there you
because
go.
my other son
Play
is too.
dates.
My boy's my boy is too old to be playing with her so much, because he's 12 as a boxer. That's old, and she's
Oh,
only
That's
like
very
3.
old. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very old as a boxer.
yeah.
All right,
So
Rebecca. I got to ask you real quick. So I have my mod that also helps me with research, and she does our merchandise. Wants to reach out to you and send you something and whatever. Is it okay if I give your email to her?
oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Her
definitely.
name's
Thank
Tiff,
you.
and she's there in New Jersey as well. So,
Oh, okay.
but
Thank you.
yeah, she does really good merch, and she wants to send you some stuff with Corey on it. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah. And if you need anything, she's right there. So
Thank
she can
you.
help more than I could in California.
I
All
appreciate
right.
that. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. You heard that, Tiff. She's texting me. Everybody's texting me and emailing me right now. So yeah. We got anything else or you gonna wrap this up? We're almost at 2 hours, ladies.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think I've said a lot today. I always
Well,
have
it's
a lot
good.
to say.
that's
Well,
okay.
that's why we bring you here. There's 111 people here. You guys say a prayer for complete justice for Corey and other children and that the laws get passed correctly, right? We want just one
Yeah.
Corey's law, and that's just one
Yep.
step closer because this is just, I mean, every 10 minutes there's a child being harmed, right? And then being
All the time. It's
starved, beaten, all these things that like we don't have control over, but we can do our part.
yeah, just make a lot of noise and hope that somebody listens, one day. Can't keep going
Yeah,
on like this. It's not
right.
okay.
Well, we do the best we can. And Isabel said, check your inbox, Rebecca. Toddy, good to see you as
Always,
always.
always. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this and put it on my channel like I did last time. Yeah,
Okay, I'll download it and send it to
you don't
you
have to
later.
do it. I could just grab it. You don't have to worry about. I'll grab it.
Okay,
So you
cool.
don't have to do that because I know you got a lot going on. I appreciate you, Jay, as always. It's nice to see you. And I
You
hope you
too.
get that interview, man. That'll be great for you. That'll be exciting for you. You worked
Oh,
really
yeah.
hard with the Matty Soto case. So
Yeah.
if anybody deserves it, man, it's you. So I hope you get an exclusive with that
Thank you.
family.
Oh, yeah. She's been talking to me like every day. Like, but I'm just,
Well,
got to
you'll
make
be
her feel
fair.
comfortable.
Listen, I think that you would be fair in letting her have the platform to tell her story.
Well, I'm asking
Absolutely.
her specific questions. I'm not letting it just go off onto a tangent. I make sure that they're pointed so we're not, everywhere.
The sad part is, if you don't mind me saying, the sad
No, go
part
ahead.
is, those parents are unfortunately victims too, right? Because they can't live a normal life
Absolutely.
and everything. But my problem is, here's my problem, and I don't care. I mean, here's my problem. Why are you rewarding him? He has everything he needs in jail. He's not going
Right.
to starve to death. He's not He's got everything he needs. Why do you give a shit about root beer barrels?
You know what sucks? You know what sucks though? You know why I sympathize with her, and it sucks. I hate to say this. I love my mom, Mama Pearl, you guys, but my mom does that shit with her boys. My brother, my nephew, both went to prison. Not pedo stuff, but she rewards them. She puts on their books, buys them everything. Oh, honey, I just sympathize with a parent that's going through that because I've seen it happen. So I understand what you're saying, but then when I see it, I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I'm
but
never gonna,
you know, I see it. So
I see it that way. I'm just saying.
But wait. So I see it from inside the jail. I see it from inside the jail. Like,
right.
As far as the fact that they are not, they are given a welfare. They're given enough food that they're not hungry. They're given clothes.
I mean, I agree with you.
Clean, right.
I agree.
They're given welfare so that they're able to wash themselves. They're able to brush their teeth. The bullshit. They're even given stamps in envelopes so that they can communicate. And as far as I know, they're given tablets. Now they're given the tablets. They're not even paying for the tablets.
Yeah, so, iPads or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. It's not that I don't agree, but it's like I got taxed. My mom's like, your nephew's in prison. It's once a month. Send money just because I'm family, right? Hispanic families, you don't tell your mom no. So that being said, like I can sympathize and empathize. It doesn't mean I agree, but I can.
Yeah, I think it depends on the crime. Now, don't listen. What he did. Stefan
absolutely I agree with you. I wouldn't send Stefan Stern shit
I wouldn't
either.
Send him anything. Absolutely nothing.
Right. So. I agree. But hey, I'm just the mediator in the situation.
Yeah, no. I know. That's what I was just saying. That's the thing that pisses me off. Not just with Stefan Stearns, with anybody that's in there for violent acts. Why are you? They're not starving.
They already got enough shit. They get so much stuff from the state, from whatever it is. They have way more privileges than they should. I agree.
Yeah.
Throw them into a pit, all the pedos, and just watch it burn.
Yeah.
Line them up. Let's shoot them. Get your gun, Rebecca. Let's go.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, I'll be on the firing squad. I have no problem. I'm a good aim.
I don't have a problem with them getting the death penalty. I don't have a problem with that. I just can't be the one that's.
I can. I can. All right, ladies. Rebecca, I'll let you go. Toddy, Rebecca, you have a good night. I know it's like 9 o'clock over there, and we'll hear from you soon, Rebecca, next month, huh?
Yeah, it's coming quick. So, but thank you both for letting me be on, and I just appreciate all you do.
All right. Well, we'll see you. I'll hear from you in a couple weeks. I'm going to send your email, and you take care. All right, guys. Justice for Corey.
Thanks, Jay. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Take care.
I'll see you Monday.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, get down. You're not even supposed to be on camera. I get messages. Be careful with this one. And she's over here doing this, you guys. There's not that many people in here anyway. So there it is. Naughty Reese. Yes, she is. All right, guys. I love you. Hit the like button on your way out. Likes, share, subscribe, all the stuff. And I will talk to you soon.
Bye, guys. See you guys on the happy side. And also, whenever you guys see me doing the thumbs up, put thumbs up in the chat.
There you go. Put it in.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?